Tonight's Showdown Game of the Week on TV 32. Brought to you by Bellin Health. Welcome to your healthiest life. Gallagher's Pizza. Italian food. Irish spirit. Lamers, the passenger professionals. Simon's Specialty Cheese. Experience the best of Wisconsin at Simon's Cheese, Little Chute. McMahon's of Luxembourg. Cobus and Buses. Family pride in every ride. And Gandrud Chevrolet. Wisconsin's #1 selling Chevrolet dealership.
From Luxemburg, Wisconsin, it's time for the TV 32 Sports Showdown. Tonight, it's the quarterfinal round of the state high school football playoffs as the Menasha Blue Jays have come to visit the Luxemburg-Casco Spartans. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast alongside John Mino.
Hello, Teddy. Hey, folks, you
John.
can't see it, but he's got a blanket wrapped around from his waist down.
I really don't. I could, though. It's a beautiful night. There's a little chill in the air.
Yeah, there's a little chill in the air, but you know what? These teams don't care because they don't throw the football that much. They pound it on the ground, and I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, these two teams just a couple wins away from a trip to Camp Randall Stadium and a trip to the state championship game. Let's talk a little bit about Menasha. We saw them last week on Showdown, and they really looked unstoppable.
Yeah, they were pretty much unstoppable. 500 yards rushing. It was incredible. Mr. Smith, the young man, number 22, watch him tonight. He had an incredible first half with 4 touchdowns, ended up with 403 yards rushing. This is a formidable football team, this Menasha Blue Jay squad. It really and truly is. They're fast. They're not overly big, but they're very, very tough. This could be a tough matchup for that defense of Luxemburg-Casco.
Menasha is 9-2 on the season. They won the FRCC South. Now, Luxemburg-Casco,
Yes.
11-0 on the season. They've been terrific all season long. Winners of the Northeastern Conference. They, too, not too bad.
Not too bad. Best season in Luxemburg-Casco history. Home court advantage, as we would say in basketball. We'll see how that plays out on a cold football field tonight. But they've got a young man, too, Mr. Vandenbush. He's been unstoppable in the games that at least we've seen. Over 1,600 yards of the ground. They can really run the football. They play a tough D. They control the football a little bit more than you would think. Depri, a quarterback, does a real nice job running the football, carrying out fakes. Great play action when he does throw the football. They'll only throw it in selected spots. This is a very well-balanced football team. We haven't seen anybody in the regular season that really stayed with them.
So you take a look at what Menasha did last week. We were at that game, John. Very impressive, 43-27 win. That was the score's a little misleading. It was a very exciting game.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, Notre Dame had a great offense going with Hornacek. He did a really nice job too. But Devontre Smith, we were talking during the course of that game, had a chance to get 500 yards. He did not carry the ball much in the second half. He could have easily have had 500 yards rushing. Instead, they took the workload off him, put it on A.J. Korth, and he ended up getting over 100 yards rushing, most of that in the second half.
Yeah, so 500 yards rushing as a team.
100 yards rushing as a team, which is just amazing. And had a 74-yard touchdown run taken away because of a penalty.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you take a look at what Luxemburg-Casco did last week. No problem with Wapaka as
they haven't had problems with many teams this year.
11-0. They're doing all right.
Yep, Isaac Vandenbush, he's a tremendous running back. We've seen him play, Teddy, and he's done a great job of the games we've seen. 162 yards rushing, you see 3 touchdowns. Depri doing a nice job. Just a solid quarterback. Very impressed with him. Doesn't have the gaudy stats, but I haven't seen him make a mistake in any of the games we've seen him play.
Well, let me put this question to you. You see Isaac Vandenbush, only 12 carries last week. That's all he needed.
Right.
A little more fresh, maybe, than some of these Menasha guys.
Yeah, we were wondering about that during the course of the game, if Smith was going to show any signs of wear and tear. We really didn't. I thought they did a really nice job of taking care of him in that second half. Used him quite a bit more as a decoy, and what a decoy he was, because, you know, when you put the ball anywhere near his midsection, the defense converges. So I'm really excited about this matchup. As we mentioned in the pregame show, biggest game in Luxemburg-Casco football history, deepest they have ever got in the playoffs. This Menasha team, though, I'm telling you, they are tough, they are rugged, they are physical, they'll come up and smack you. Good defensive backs, good linebackers, really nice quarterback, and of course, as we mentioned, Devontre Smith. What more can you say about them? 403 yards rushing last week. Enough talk.
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
Ready to get this started. Luxemburg-Casco wearing their maroon-red jerseys tonight. Menasha wearing their white jerseys. Menasha coached by Jeremy Korth in his 14th season as the head coach of the Blue Jays. Luxemburg being coached by Neil now in his second season, and Neil's got a pretty good winning percentage.
How is it?
18-1.
Not bad.
First couple of years.
Tell you what, there's a couple of guys deep. Max Ronsman and Ryan Ruthio that can bust it open anytime they touch the ball.
And it is Menasha kicking off to Luxemburg-Casco, and this is going to go out of bounds. So we see a flag right away.
We gave them a hard time last week with all their pooch kicks. Remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't think their pooch kicks would work. So, but that kicker has a strong leg too. So here we go. It's a nice night for football. It's cold, big deal.
It's November.
You know, it's November.
This is a very nice night for a November.
You can't ask for a much better night for football.
35-yard line.
Completely dry.
First down.
Let's talk to that gentleman before the game.
Mr. Bob Fletcher.
He's something else, I'll tell you what. He brings as much enthusiasm to these games as 16-year-old kids.
Well, and this crew is outstanding.
Outstanding.
Bob Delzer, Mike Knepsel, Pat Beekle, and Toby Formiller. So here we go. On a 1st and 10, ball out to the 35-yard line. First snap of the game for the Spartans, right up the middle. Vandenbush will try and maybe pick up a yard. It'll be tough running against that Menasha defense up front.
Yeah, that up front defense is really tough for Menasha. They are physical, not overly huge, but just as I mentioned, physical. They get really low, really fire off the ball in a good way.
Take a look at the starters for Luxemburg-Casco. Owen Dupree, the quarterback, having such a great season, along with Isaac Vandenbush, who we've already talked about. Some great players on both sides. 2nd and 8. They put a man in motion, and Dupree will keep it himself.
Nice fake. A lot of people were looking at the running back coming from the left side. I believe it was Ronson. Dupree kept it himself. Those are the things he does really, really well. And those are things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but the guy is just a little bit of a magician with that football in his hands with play action. Going with the quick huddle here, or with the quick up to the line of scrimmage, no huddle, Ted.
Get a look at the Menasha starters on defense. Out of all conference players in that group.
Big 3rd and 2 opening series for Luxemburg-Casco, trying to move the chains in the first series.
And they'll give it to Vandenbush, who's got the first down and more. Trying to get by one defender, spins and is brought down near the 36-yard line. Big run, Isaac Vandenbush.
Well, that's young man we were talking about, over 1,600 yards rushing on the season. He is their bread and butter. We saw him in a couple of ball games where he just outclassed the defense, and this is what he does well. Does a nice job picking his hole, bounces to the outside, breaks the tackle. He's got some size, got some strength. That's a real good football player there.
Over 1,600 yards rushing, but a very impressive 32 touchdowns. Top 5 in the state in rushing touchdowns scored this season. Dupree now looks over at the sidelines, might be changing the call.
They do that a lot. Luxemburg-Casco will show one look, see what the defense shows, and then adjust.
From the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left. They go that way, and it's maybe a little miscommunication.
Yeah.
Ryan Ruthio, I'm not sure he was the intended receiver.
He jumped for it, but I think the intended receiver was Ronsman, who was right behind him. Not sure I've ever seen that happen before, with 2 guys lined up exactly in the line of flight of the pass, and neither one exactly sure. I think Ronsman was saying, I think that was supposed to be for me, and you were supposed to block.
So a 2nd down. Sitting at the 37-yard line, they'll try Vandenbush again.
There's that interior of the line, and Menasha comes up so well from the secondary. Keaton Karanda came up, and we saw him make a bunch of tackles last week. Number 9, just a junior, but Karanda does a really nice job filling the hole.
So now you got 3rd and long coming up, John.
3rd and 9. From about the 35, 36.
A lone receiver split to the left, couple to the near side. Plenty of room on that far sideline. Now Dupree.
He won't get it that way. Nope.
And it's going to bring up 4th down. And
4 down territory.
Yeah, 4th and about 5 to go here.
Watch those white shirts converge, Ted. There was a little bit of, as Dick Bennett would say, fool's gold, where it looks like there was something there, but then that defense just converged.
I think that's your first Dick Bennett reference this year.
No, second, I think.
Second?
I think one time I said, I blame myself. No, I've never said that. I'll be honest.
I was going to say.
I know. Everybody in the booth,
Really?
everybody in the truck right now, you never said that.
That was a good head fake,
Wow. Oh, thank you.
So 4th and 5, they're going to go for it. On their first drive of the game.
Flag
on the play, incomplete
Nobody
pass.
open. Flag on the far side. Illegal procedure looks like against Luxemburg-Casco. So must have been the wide out on that side.
Yep.
Illegal formation.
So let's take a break.
On the offense.
This is
That
Showdown. We'll be right
penalty's
back. So first play on offense for Menasha, and they pick up right where they left off last week in a big run by Devontre Smith.
You're exactly right, Ted. Just an off-tackle play. Devontre Smith picks up 12 yards. First carry of the ball game. This is what he does right here. Does a nice job following his blockers. Has a nice haul. They have a nice offensive line that really gets after it. Took Ryan Ruthio to come up and make the tackle, but not before he had a first down at the 46.
Devontre, again in the backfield, will take the handoff, tries the middle, now tries to bounce it to the far right side.
Had a nice hit by Logan Dole, 6'3" senior. Bounced off that. Now, we saw that. If you're watching the pregame show, folks, you saw one of the most amazing plays that we've seen maybe in our existence last week when he bounced off 5 guys and took it for a score.
Take a look at the Menasha offensive line. Starters tonight.
Gain of 2 on the play.
A.J. Korth, the quarterback, will keep it himself.
Slip trying to make the cut. Yep. This field is kind of chewed up. I mean, this time of year, obviously, the grass isn't going to grow. They've played a lot of games on it over the last month or so. So, natural grass football field right at midfield.
But to your point, it's in very good shape for this time of the year.
Absolutely, but natural grass is natural grass.
That's right. Now, Menasha has played, I think, just about all of their games on turf this year.
Right, that whole conference.
So a little
big play
different
here.
Setup. So 3rd and 6 coming up for the Blue Jays. Spartans looking for a stop. They'll give it to Smith. Smith dancing and gets across that first down marker and picks up enough yards to move the chains.
And that's Smith for you once again. Ran through some traffic, just kept those legs rolling. Low center of gravity, really strong legs. Does a great job picking up that first down. This you're going to see a big dose of. Look at that, knocking over one guy. His impact is as explosive for anyone his size we've ever seen. He's got a little bit of like Walter Payton in him. You know how Walter Payton would almost hesitate and then just blast into the guy?
Hesitate is the key
Hesitate and then blast off.
He's very patient, and that time
trip that time. Yep, slip and a trip. Loss of about 1.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily get a running start at you.
No, he controls himself. He almost like drops down a little bit, lowers the center of gravity a little bit more, and then explodes into people. Actually, loss of about 1.5 yards. We were talking about we're going to see a lot of running tonight, and that's basically the offense for both teams. But it's not a bad night to throw football. I mean, obviously the hands are going to be a little bit cold, but other than that, the wind isn't a factor. No rain whatsoever.
Nice night. In November. Korth, high snap, and Korth, he's not afraid to take it up the middle. He's just as willing to run as he is to pass. He's had a terrific season this year.
Well, he's had 1,157 yards passing and 1,400 yards rushing. So add those two up, Teddy. Add 1,160 and 1,400.
That's
it should
a lot.
be easy. It
That's
should be easy for you. Boy, those people in Round Lake should be disappointed. Elliot Frank, the big fullback, leading the way for him. Did you have a good math teacher at Round Lake?
I did.
Round Lake, Illinois?
Sure.
Could have fooled me. No offense.
My dad was a teacher.
Ooh,
there you go.
That's uncomfortable.
Here's Korth. Trying the left side and wrapped up.
Coming up, making the stop that time after his wrapped up Ryan Ruthio, the 6-foot, 160-pound junior who plays both ways. In fact, literally one of those guys that doesn't come off the football field. Korth really had a lot of success with that last week against Notre Dame. Following the big fullback, as I mentioned, Elliot Frank.
Well, we thought we might see a little more Korth tonight compared to what we saw last week. They got Devontae Smith running early and just kept going.
Right. He wasn't being stopped, so
No.
why stop giving it to him? A little mix-up in the backfield.
Smith still turns it into a nice game.
He does. Looks like he wanted to go one way and then turn the other way. Lucas Cannon, number 68, 6'5", 250-pound senior, taking him down. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Court looked to the right.
Broken play for 5.
Yeah, broken play for 5. That's right. So 3rd and about 4 on the 35. No, excuse me, the 25.
Spartans looking for a stop here. No score. Late in the first quarter. This level 3 playoff game. And it's Smith. Hitting the backfield, bounces off one defender, a second one, the third one comes in, and they stop him. So a 4th down coming up for the Blue Jays.
You know what the Spartans did really nice that time, Teddy? They came up, they made the initial hit, and everybody didn't all of a sudden just converge for the football. They spread it out. They took away the sideline. That's what didn't happen last week. They gave them that sideline. I'm sure the Spartans watch film after film after film, and it's you had the analogy early on when we were talking off camera, actually. Has to be like a basketball game. Don't give them the baseline.
Got to cut off that sideline. You cannot let them break that press like that.
And that's what they did. So 4th down.
4th and 4 for the Blue Jays. Korth on the draw, and off he goes. And he is in. He should have been stopped, and it's a touchdown for Menasha.
What a big play by Korth. And again, that's what we've seen from Menasha before. Their guys get hit, and they shrug them off, and they turn those kind of plays into big plays. What a play by A.J. Korth. And again, last week we were talking all about Devontae Smith, and with reason, but do not sleep on this guy. He's special himself. Over 1,400 yards rushing on the season. Big, strong guy, and he takes it the distance. Big play on 4th down for Menasha.
So Sam Blancett on for the extra point. Big leg, and it's good. 7-0. Menasha leads Luxemburg-Casco. Will step away. This is Showdown on TV 32. So those big plays strike again for Menasha.
This is deja vu. That's exactly what they did last week against Notre Dame, and exactly what Luxemburg-Casco can't allow to have happen. They had a 4th down and 5 or 6, and they had him dead to rights, short of the 1st down, and he still finds a way with that strength and that speed. He's a special football player. He's only a junior.
So A.J. Korth with his 22nd rushing touchdown of the season.
Isn't that incredible?
Well, he's got 16 passing touchdowns too. So
amazing.
Pretty good.
Not too bad. But look at that. Incredible offensive stats.
Put this one.
Going to the end zone.
So we'll step away one more time. You're watching Showdown. So after the kickoff, Luxemburg-Casco gets the ball back for their second drive of the game. They trail 7-0 to Menasha. Little jet sweep. And Ruthio.
Wow. That looked like that had a chance, but A.J. Korth came up and just made a huge play, but a flag on the play.
On the field. Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15 yards down to the end of the run. 1st down.
Okay, not a good thing to happen, but watch 17, how quickly he comes. Right there, it looked like he had a clear lane, and 17 just bursts into the picture.
He's got that hand coming up into the face mask, so an extra 15 yards here for the Spartans. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. The winner of this one moving on to the level 4 portion of the state tournament, which is the semifinals next week.
Vandenbush with a carry, Spaeth with a tackle. Seth Spaeth, we talked a lot about him last week. Really tough football player, all-conference type of performer. In about 5 or 6. No huddle again for Luxemburg-Casco, trying to get some rhythm going here.
Second down, Dupree. A screen pass to Ronsman, and Ronsman off to the races. Still on his feet, spinning, gets by the defender, touchdown, Spartans!
What a big play by Ronsman, and what a big play for Luxemburg-Casco. When you get this deep in the playoff, Teddy, guys have to make individual plays. You can drop the X's and O's all you want, but the difference is the guy separating himself on the field. Physically, that's exactly what Ronsman did.
Another look at it.
Almost fumbled. The ball bobbles out. Does a nice job. Thought he was down right there. Breaks the tackle. Gets through it. And takes in for the score. Incredible play. And what an answer by Luxemburg-Casco.
Movement on the extra point. Let's see.
Defense, half the distance, retry.
You want to go for two?
You saw my body English, didn't you? You
got a little anxious there,
well,
John.
Sometimes they do, and I'll be honest with you, I very seldom have seen it work. Where they think that extra yard or whatever, but...
well, John Larson's going to line up another extra point.
I don't blame him.
Larson, the senior, with the extra point.
I don't know.
And that is no
good. Yep, wide left. Little bit of a high snap that I think threw it off. Should have gone for two.
There you go. Now you're going to second guess.
Absolutely.
In the first quarter.
Of course.
So 7-6. It is Menasha still leading, but take nothing away from that tremendous
play by Ronzo. Just incredible. Yard after a catch. Y-A-K.
So 1:12 remaining in this first quarter. Yeah, you were wondering how Luxemburg-Casco might respond after that.
Right.
That big touchdown by Menasha, and they come right back out. And you're right. Sometimes it's just the individual plays, and we've seen a couple of big ones so
When you
far.
have evenly matched football teams, you just can't X's and O's somebody to death. You have to have individual talent make plays in these kind of ball games. And there is a fair amount of offensive talent on this football field tonight.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. There certainly is.
So Larson will kick off for the Spartans. Larson
wow, nice kick.
Keeps it
hot line drive.
Inside the 10. Still on
nice
his
return.
Feet. Yeah, close to the 35-yard line. Well, the Down and Distance is brought to you by Gandrud Chevrolet. Find the right vehicle at the right value for your money. Complete inventory online at GandrudChevrolet.com.
So there we go. Ball on the 34-yard line. Let's see if Menasha answers right back with a minute 2 left to play here in the first quarter.
Keep it on the ground.
Devontre Smith wrapped up with big Joe Cervenka that time. Big number 72, Joe. 6 foot, 220-pounder. Senior. Gave about a yard. One quick score in Teddy. Pulaski and Hartford tied at 7 in their ball game.
Yeah, several area teams still alive here in Level 3, trying to get to the state semifinal round next week.
Got this one, Franklin 14, Bayport nothing early in that game.
2nd and 8 for the Blue Jays. Korth and a short gain, so 3rd and about 6 coming up.
Nice job that time by Luxemburg-Casco getting some penetration, not letting them have that initial hole. That's where they're really good, is when they get that initial hole and then they use their strength and their speed from there. Is there a flag? Oh, end of the quarter.
End of the quarter. So we'll step away. We'll save that thought for when we come back. It is Menasha leading Luxemburg-Casco after 1 quarter of play. This is Showdown on TV 32. See Bob Fletcher, the head official tonight, talking to him before the game. Congratulations to Bob and the entire crew. They've already earned a spot at one of the state championship games
Really?
this year. Yeah, he was telling me this is going to be their 5th time for this crew.
Awesome.
Going to officiate at a state championship game. First time in 8 years.
Well deserved.
Absolutely.
Korth gets to within a yard of the first down to bring up 4th down. I will say this, Korth coming from such a, of course, Coach Korth, and kind of a legendary name in the Menasha area. It's just funny how sometimes offspring will just have so many different tools. You wonder if they got in the weight room that much earlier, or just watching film that much earlier, or whatever it was. But just some of these coaches' kids just seem to have a leg up, don't they? Sometimes we've seen a lot of great ones over the years. 4th and 1.
4th and 1. Big play for both teams. One receiver in this set. They go to Smith. Smith gets the first down, and goodbye. Devontre Smith.
Yep, that's what he does.
Touchdown, Menasha.
Wow. From the 43, and just, how long did that take? About 6 seconds to go that distance? Maybe?
Man.
On 4th and 1. Again, that's what he does. Incredible.
57
Here we go again.
yards.
You see that little hesitation, waited for the hole to open up, and then he's like, anybody around? Anybody around? No? Okay. See ya. Incredible. Jets.
My goodness.
Oh, almost blocked, but he gets it through the pipes.
Line set is good. So 14-6 as you get another look at Devontre Smith. Doing it again. Some big yards and 6 more. Make it 7 for the Blue Jays. (14-6). Menasha leads Luxemburg-Casco early in the second quarter of this Division III Level 3 matchup.
Well, now it's up to Luxemburg-Casco to answer once again, and Menasha is what we've seen before. And we've seen them play a game and a half, because we mentioned last week that we saw one half of their ball game against Neenah early in the season, and then was canceled that night and then picked up again the next afternoon, which we did not do. But what we saw last week was exactly what we're seeing right now with Menasha. So that wasn't a mirage or anything like that. That's who they are. As Denny Green would say, they are who he thought they were. That was my Denny Green impersonation.
That was pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's one of my better ones.
First Denny Green impersonation ever.
Of the year.
Ever. Here's Luxemburg-Casco with the return close to the 40.
Not a bad return, though.
Nice
pretty good
return.
field position. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we've seen some of those big plays tonight, and you see all those great replays. That's courtesy of Simon's Cheese. Tonight's instant replays brought to you by Simon's Cheese. Experience the best of Wisconsin at Simon's Cheese Little Chute.
Pulaski and Hartford now tied at 7.
Yeah, Pulaski's been tremendous. Saw them a couple of times this season. Getting to host. Franklin now leads Bayport 21-0.
Wow.
Number 1 ranked team in the state is Franklin.
Nice run. Number 22, Devontre Smith, who's actually their leading tackler coming in to make the stop. Isaac Vandenbush, who is just the workhorse. How many carries did he have that one game we did here, Ted? Remember, it was just incredible, like 30-some carries.
Vandenbush?
Yeah.
Well, 206 carries coming into this game in 10 games. Missed a game this season. Still ends up with 206 plus whatever he's got tonight. Here's another carry.
Nice fake. No, quarterback, nice job. And he gets the first down. It's exactly what I was talking about before the game and early on, Teddy. Depre is one of the best masterful fakers I've ever seen in high school football. Just does such a great job.
And credit to Vandenbush. I mean, he drew 3 defenders without the ball.
Out. You bet. You know you're going to take those hits without reward. So a big first down right at midfield.
So fresh set of downs for the Spartans. Big receiver in the
fumble
slot here, and
recovered by Menasha.
Menasha's got it.
Big break for the Blue Jays. I don't think that was Evan Vandenhoven falling on it. I don't think the quarterback and the running back were on the same page. I think the quarterback thought the running back was going to take it, and the running back thought the quarterback was going to keep it. That's just my opinion, and I may be wrong.
Well, it is a turnover nonetheless, and Menasha
on the 42.
Spartans territory.
See, I don't think the running back ever thought he was going to be carrying the football. And I think the quarterback absolutely thought he was going to be carrying the football. So a big miscue for Luxemburg-Casco. You know, we're talking about individual plays this time of year. You also have to be careful for those turnovers because everyone is so critical when you have teams so evenly matched.
Trailing by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Smith
has got it again, and there was one man in front of him.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't there, Smith was gone again.
Yep. Close to a first down. In fact, he does have the first down. What a threat he is. Don't you almost hold your breath every time he bursts through that line? Like, if he breaks a tackle here, he's going the distance.
Another look at it here. Just following those blocks.
Nice job of the defender getting low, taking his legs out from him.
If he sees daylight,
he hesitates and just explodes. I think that'll be a fairly easy call. Yeah.
The 5-yard penalty, no first down.
That's on the center.
Yeah.
You see everybody move at the ball.
Yeah, pretty hard to convince everybody you had it right and they had it wrong. Yeah, I agree with that. So 1st and 15. Kind of a powerhouse backfield with fullback to lead the way for Smith.
Again, getting low.
How low can he get? Isn't that incredible? I mean, he just submarines, keeps his balance, and drives. That's what's impressive with him. He knows nothing's there. He knows he's not going to break it for a big one, so he just digs down low and gets what he can. Incredible.
So picks up a couple. It's going to bring up 2nd and 13.
But just the balance of him.
Yeah. Well, and we're looking straight out at him now.
Right.
I mean, where they are and where we are in the press box, you can see how low he got on that.
That's what I mean, to keep his feet to get that low.
So Smith again hitting the backfield.
Big hits that time. Big play. Number 50, number 3, Evan Dorner. Number 3, Sam Peterson. Number 50 coming in and blowing that play up. Big defense. Maybe the biggest defensive play for Luxemburg-Casco so far tonight.
Smith came down awkwardly, too, on this. Like, he almost started to hurdle a player.
Right, but they came on him so fast.
So here you go. 3rd and 16 coming up.
From the 41.
Spartans looking for a stop. One receiver in the set. He's split wide left. Flag on the play as Korth rolls to that direction, and that's going to be an incomplete pass, but what's the flag all about?
Flag came out pretty early. Almost came out too early to think it would be a holding call.
Okay. Illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
About 4th and 16 coming up.
4th and 16 or 3rd and 21?
Sitting at the 41-yard line.
I don't know.
You got to make a decision here, Coach.
4th and 16.
Can't wait for the team to come out.
4th and 16. I'm going with what they're doing. Although I may second guess.
Okay, well, and here's the tricky part of it. A.J. Korth, the quarterback, is also the punter.
Yes.
So,
and he's pretty deep.
Punt formation.
And Luxemburg-Casco does have someone deep. And he is going to rugby kick it. And it's a good one. It's a very good one. Wow.
We'll take a look when we come back. You're watching Showdown. Back in Luxembourg, where the Menasha Blue Jays lead Luxemburg-Casco 14-6, 7:04 And here's a big play. Vandenbush has the first down and a little more.
Boy, that got them out of a dangerous hole. Coming up to make the stop again, number 5, Seth Spaeth, who got up a little gingerly, Spaeth did. It's a hard tackle. That's a big running back you got coming at you right there.
And look at Vandenbush.
Yeah, I agree.
on the handoff,
right,
a little bit low, but turns it into a big play. So a first down, Vandenbush again trying that right side, grabbed by the ankle and pulled down.
Gain of about 2 to the 26. We're up a second down and 8. But yeah, that was just a magnificent punt that Korth did to pin them back inside the 10-yard line. But the big play right there to bring it out.
Well, another quick look at it since you mentioned it.
Right. I think
this is an RPO.
This is
run
punt option. Good call, Ted. Wow. Who's writing your stuff these days?
I don't know.
Okay. Really good.
My wife texts me.
Okay. I know it used to be Lice Gang.
Up top, looking for Ronsman, still alive. And then a flag comes in.
Wow. I think it's the right call. Because the defender stopped playing the ball and started playing the receiver. The quarterback really put a lot of air under that one, Depre, to let him run under it.
Ronsman almost still came back and made the catch after the initial.
Right.
Pass interference on the defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Penalty results in a first down.
So again, in high school, it's not like it is in the pros. Watch Depre really float this one, giving him plenty of time to get under it. And the defensive back lost sight of the football and was just, it wasn't what you call face guarding, but almost like the same connotation.
Ronsman had to come back for the ball.
Right, get the ball.
Yeah.
And couldn't do it. If he'd had his head turned, that would have been fine. Because then he would have been playing the ball.
So it's a 15-yard penalty. Again, not spotted the foul.
Right.
And up the middle, this time is it Dorner this time?
Yep.
It is.
Looked like he had more of a hole that time, then taken down, I believe, by Andrew John, number 45. But a gain of about 7, up to the 49-yard line.
Dorner will come in. It'll change of pace, the 5'10 senior. 3 carries on the season coming into this one. Picked up 7 that time. Second down. Trying to get into Menasha territory.
Quarterback has it. Depre fights to close to the first down.
Be shy, though.
Just shy, I believe. Bring up 3rd and 1. Some other scores coming in, Ted. Catholic Memorial leads Denmark 7-0. Franklin 21-0 over Bayport. No score between Freedom and Wisconsin Dells. Third and 1 in what I would consider not 4-down territory. I don't think you'd want to give the Menasha Blue Jays the ball
here, Jeff?
How much time do I have? Let me go through the options.
Well,
although this is where
Dorner's in the game.
Right, and this is where Depre a lot of times will keep it himself.
They'll give it to Evan Dorner.
Boy, he runs low too and gets the first down. Evan Dorner, the 5'10", 185-pound senior.
Needed 1, picked up about 10.
Into Blue Jay territory, up to the 42-yard line. That's the old style running right there, isn't it? Wrap it up with both hands, get as low as possible, keep those shoulders square, keep your head down. And that was old. That was like my era. That really was.
Yep. I don't know what your era was,
don't you think I didn't have an era? Don't you start. Wow.
I don't. All right.
All right.
So there's a 1st and 10 in Menasha territory this time. And Dorner again.
Swarmed after a gain of about 3, right to the 40-yard line. Kimberly leading Appleton North now 10-7. Hartford leading Pulaski 14-7. Catholic Memorial 14-0 over Denmark. There's a lot of people that'd like to see Catholic Memorial move into a different division. Aren't there, though?
Just a few.
That was the home of John Anderson, wasn't it? Former Packer linebacker. Catholic Memorial, Waukesha. Actually, the top linebacker in the state is named after him. Isn't it? No? Am I wrong? I thought it was. Taken down, no gain, maybe a loss of about 1. On a keeper by Depre.
So a 3rd and long coming up.
This play just didn't have a lot of goodness to it from the start. Looking to the right and just nobody there, and then it shuts down on him. Isn't the top linebacker award Anderson?
I think you're right. I
okay.
think it is.
Wow, why did you look at me that way? The Jim Leonard Award for the best defensive back.
Yes.
Kevin Stemke Award for the best punter.
Okay.
I could go on.
And you will.
The night is young.
There's Depre. Oh.
Looking for his man, not there. I don't think the receiver was really ready for it. Max Ronsman was the intended receiver, but didn't really have his head turned back towards the ball. Looks like the offense is staying. Watch this, Ted. Yeah. Just kind of reacted late to it. Yep. And a timeout called Luxembourg. I think they're going to think this one over. Think about possibly going for it.
All right. Well, while they think about it, we'll take a break. You're watching Showdown on TV 32. Hey, Bellin Health, Titletown Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is proud to provide licensed athletic trainers for area schools and local athletes. Tonight, Adam Hallett is working the sidelines for Luxemburg-Casco. Thanks to Adam and all of the Bellin licensed athletic trainers who help keep our kids safe and in the game. Bellin Health, the official healthcare partner of Sports Showdown.
So 4th and 9 from the 41.
Also have to say hi to Madeline Corbin, was also in that video.
I was wondering why you're ignoring her.
Yeah, no, Madeline, she goes to UW Green Bay, working the sidelines with Adam tonight. And on that 4th down.
Incomplete pass intended for Logan Dole. 6'3", 200-pound senior. A nice job of the defensive back closing on time and then getting up slowly. And that's A.J. Korth.
Korth is shaken up.
Korth is leaving the field, which is something you very seldom see. At least I believe he's leaving the field. No, maybe not. Yep, no, he is. And he's jogging off. No, he's not. He's walking off. But he is walking off the field.
Just going to check with Coach here. Well...
yeah, he's on the sidelines.
Yeah,
he's staying out this play.
Yeah, he's out.
He seems okay. Well, now he's walking better. Yep, got the bell rung a little bit, I guess.
They will be checking him out on the sidelines. Make sure he's all right.
And it's a big defensive play on his part. Would have been a completion if he hadn't closed the way he did.
Well, with Korth out, he's their quarterback, so a direct snap to Devontre Smith, who's hit the backfield and loses about 5.
Nice job that time by the defense. Logan Dahl getting in there quickly. The intended receiver on the last play, loss of a couple. Here it is again, kind of the wildcat formation. Just a real nice job by number 15 right there making the play. So 2nd and 12. And Korth stays on the sidelines. Thought maybe it was like the mandatory 1 play possibly. So he's still going Wildcat? Believe so with Smith.
It is Smith who's lined up in the shotgun. Low snap.
No,
and then loses the hand, a loose ball, and the Spartans.
Looks like the Spartans have it. Wow, what a turn of events with 1.5 minutes left to play in the first half. So Korth makes a great defensive play, gets hurt. They go in for the shotgun, or excuse me, for the Wildcat. Bad snap, then he just couldn't handle it. And recovered by Vandenbush. So 2 of the great running backs going nose to nose right there. And Luxemburg-Casco has the ball on the 32-yard line.
Best field position
for the game. At least going this way.
And Depre looks to the sideline. Vandenbush will take it himself on the left side, gets by a couple of defenders, cuts through, gets by another defender, and then is pushed out near the 5-yard line. What a run.
A run by Vandenbush, exactly. You know, you don't see that one special quality with him except excellence. I mean, he's strong, he's fast, he's shifty, he shakes off tacklers. You saw that first one. He's 6'1", 190. I mean, that's nice size. That was Devontre Smith that missed that time. And that's why that young man has a bushel full of yards this year, 1,651 coming into this ball game.
So a 1st and goal.
On about the 5.
Depre keeping himself.
Not much. Gained about a yard. Bring up 4th and goal. Or excuse me, 2nd and goal from the 4. As time winds down here in the first half. And a timeout called, I believe, by Menasha. Yes, it was. So Menasha wants to check out their defense. Thought that was a pretty good call for Luxemburg-Casco. I'm sure everybody was looking for the halfback once again. And Depre with the fake, take it up the middle.
Well, 8 points shy of tying this one with 108. The way Cobus Buses is now hiring. Top pay for part-time work with flexible hours. Cobus and Buses, family pride in every ride.
I know I've asked this before. Do they still do the warm up the bus thing, or is that illegal?
I don't think it's illegal.
Wow, whatever. You know what I mean.
Frowned upon.
Is it frowned upon? I've done lots of things that are frowned upon.
Oh, my goodness.
So a matter of wills here. This tough Menasha defense against this high-powered Luxemburg-Casco offense. Both teams with costly fumbles so far in the ballgame. But we are definitely in the red zone here.
Luxemburg-Casco in the Gallagher's Pizza red zone. Hungry for some points. They give it to Vandenbush. Vandenbush hitting the backfield. And they will just swarm and make sure he doesn't get away this time.
Great job of the Menasha defense that time. Everett Rubert, number 56, one of the first guys to hit him. There was no hole. I mean, that's all you saw, or I'm sure that's all Vandenbush saw when he looked up, was a white jersey right in his face right there.
And Menasha will take a timeout here.
Great defensive job right there.
Well, tonight's game on Showdown is brought to you in part by McMahon's of Luxembourg. Quality furniture at reasonable prices. Where the best home for our furniture is yours. Just down the street, a couple blocks from the stadium here.
Okay, question for you, Teddy.
Yeah.
3rd down, if you don't get the touchdown, do you go for it or you kick a field goal?
Well,
make the call.
We've got 51 seconds to decide that.
You make the call. You make the call, Teddy. 3rd round of the playoffs.
3rd round of the playoffs. You might have
take
to go
it on a tough team. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But let's see.
I'm looking for a little rollout action here. What do you think? Fake to Vandenbush, maybe a little bit of a bootleg.
I don't know if there's going to be much of a fake. I think you just give it to Mr. Vandenbush.
Do you? From 4 yards out?
Yes.
That's pretty tough territory down there. We shall see.
It's a 3rd and goal.
From the 4.
Vandenbush set up to the left side of Dupree. They give to Vandenbush, who's hit, bounces off a defender, still keeping those legs, reaches for the end zone.
Touchdown!
That's a touchdown!
Teddy called it. Wow. I'm looking at you with admiration.
Well, you got a guy like that. I don't think you're fooling around.
They did not fool around. You are correct. But I'll tell you what, nothing was easy on that play. Watch this. Hit right there, breaks that tackle, hit a couple more times, and dives over for the score. What did we say earlier, Teddy? This time of year, this deep in the playoffs, you can't X and O them to death.
No. It is just who's going to execute. They go for the extra point here instead of 2.
Okay. A lot of games still to play.
Absolutely.
A lot of football left to play.
So it remains a 1-point game. Would you like to discuss?
About going for 2?
Yeah.
I
like the call.
Good for you.
I like the call.
Attaboy.
What do you think? You don't seem...
I don't make snap decisions, Teddy. I like to take time to contemplate.
Well, you only have a couple of seconds after you score. Are you going to go for second or go for 2?
Can I just tell you the logical way I like to look at things?
Yes, please.
I like to wait to see how it actually happens and then make my decision.
Oh. Armchair quarterback.
Very much so. A replay quarterback. But again, what a great end. He could have been down there easily. Could have been down there, knocked backwards. Doesn't allow it to happen. Keeps the strength, dives over for the score. So what a turn of events. Once again, A.J. Korth, the quarterback and defensive back, makes a great play on 4th down to knock down the pass. Gets injured on the play. They come back with a Wildcat offense, a fumble by Smith, and then the drive for the touchdown by Luxemburg-Casco. Pretty crazy 3 minutes.
Absolutely. We close in on the end of this first half.
High kick down to the 5.
And a good return here.
Big return
for the Blue Jays. Let's see where they spot this one, about the 35. Maybe a little bit more.
That was a very nice return. Logan Legal, just a freshman. He's a quarterback. He's a wide receiver. He's a linebacker. Tell me we're not going to be hearing a lot about that young man over the next 3 or 4 years.
Got a lot of good young players. We've seen a lot of them this season.
Great young players.
Area.
Although I will say this, Luxemburg-Casco is a pretty senior-laden team. So Korth is back in at quarterback. Keeps it on the quarterback draw. Had some room to the right side, taking out the 45.
And a timeout here by Menasha.
Which is their final, I believe. Menasha does not have any, what should I say, not even complete, we're okay with where we're at type of.
You mentioned that a couple of times last week.
I know.
Hey, you think they'll take a knee here?
I know.
No, I don't think so.
No, they will not. They will not take a knee here. But why should they when they got the explosiveness that they have? Why not?
Well, we saw it quite a bit last week. We've seen it tonight. Any play can turn into a big play in 6 points.
No question about it.
Hey, congratulations to the Luxemburg-Casco volleyball team. Picked up a win in the state semifinals today. They're going to play for their 3rd straight state volleyball championship tomorrow.
It's incredible.
Some great athletes, some great teams over the years at this high school.
Well, no question. You know, there's a lot of those girls that go right from volleyball into basketball.
That's right.
So they don't take much time off.
Same on the boys' side.
Right.
Football right into basketball. So a 2nd and 2. Korth
quarterback draw again for Korth.
Pick up 2.
Look
and
out!
more!
Knocked out of bounds by Ruthio with 20 seconds left. I'm telling you. So the clock stops to move the chains. I believe so.
Yeah.
So back-to-back quarterback draws.
And they wait for the chains to get set before they're allowed to snap, and they are set, and we are going. 20 seconds in the half.
Deep.
Launches one down the left sideline. Some contact in there, and
incomplete.
No flags.
Yeah, I think the defender actually had better position. The defender was actually deeper downfield than the receiver was. I don't think the Menasha fans agree with me, but I thought it was pretty good defense, Ted.
Let's take another look.
Nice spiral.
Good ball.
Yeah. So it's 12 seconds left. I would imagine a play much like that one.
Well, and if you're Menasha, you don't have to go through the air, but you do got to get out of bounds. They will go to the air.
Same exact play.
Left sideline. Vandenbush almost had the pick.
So incomplete with 5 seconds left. And that was, unless I'm misreading it, the exact same play.
Sure seemed like it.
Those are some pretty good defensive backs that Luxemburg-Casco has. He throws a nice ball, though.
Vandenbush in
he
good
certainly
position.
had his, yep.
Now, and then it was it Jackson Dillon?
Unless there's a penalty, you'd think this would be the last play of the first half. So 3 wide receivers, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. Looking for him to go deep again.
Korth.
This time he looks the other way.
And that
this one
time
is
it's picked
intercepted. And that will be the end of the half. Good first half of football, young men. That was outstanding on both sides.
Evan Dorner slow to get up.
With the interception.
Now hold on now. We're going to keep it here.
Okay. Nope, that's it.
That will do it. So Dorner with the pick. They're checking on him to make sure he's all right. The Luxemburg-Casco holds Menasha in the last play of the first half. It's a 1-point game. 14-13. We got a good one in the Division III Level 3 playoff game. We'll be back after this timeout. Now back at Luxemburg-Casco High School, where the Spartans trail by 1 to the Menasha Blue Jays. Thought this might be a good matchup. We've seen some big-time runs already by both teams.
We certainly have. And I'll tell you what, you want to talk about 2 tremendous running backs. We're seeing them tonight. 2 great running backs, Smith and Vandenbush. They are both outstanding, and both are making things happen. It'll be interesting to see with Korth getting injured there a little bit, but he didn't seem to have any ill effects throwing the football over the last couple of minutes. I mean, he was laying it out there 45, 50 yards, doing a great job like that. But I don't think we're going to be seeing that Wildcat offense anytime soon with the way that turned out for him. And that kind of
they can help it.
If they can help it, you're right. But Korth right there just throws a nice ball with a nice leaping interception by Ruthio to end that first half.
All right. So it is halftime. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more of the highlights, and we'll also run through the area scores in this Level 3 round of the WIA football playoffs. That's coming up next. You're watching Showdown. One-point game in this Division III playoff game. Menasha leads Luxemburg-Casco. Glad to be with us, everyone. Ted Stefaniak, John Mino with you for this big football game. The winner moving on to next week's game, where it's state semifinal game. You're 1 win away from a trip
to Camp Randall. Wow, what a thrill that would be, huh?
Yeah, we've seen some big ones, big plays in this one so far. Let's take a look at some of the highlights,
Yep,
John.
First A.J. Korth calls his own number, breaks a couple of tackles, big strong guy, takes it in for the touchdown, and a quick 7-0 Blue Jay lead over the Spartans. Luxemburg-Casco, they come back. What a beautiful play. What's this young man's name, Teddy?
Mr. Ronsman.
Mr. Ronsman. Boy, he's got some wheels on him, doesn't he? Does a nice job. But right there was the nicest part. Breaking a couple of tackles, taking it in for the touchdown. Extra point, no good. 7-6 at that point. Menasha still with the lead. Blue Jays come back on 4th down. This young man waits for his block to develop, high steps it, and then turns on the afterburners, and he is gone. His name is
Devontre Smith.
Takes it in for the touchdown. They had themselves the 14-6 lead. Some disaster striking late in the first half. Quarterback was hurt. They try going with the Wildcat, the low snap. Smith fumbles. Luxemburg-Casco recovers. They had about 1:50 to score. Big play right here by Isaac Vandenbush, breaking tackles, taking it down to about the 5-yard line. It was 4th and goal from the 4-yard line, and they give it to that man once again. Great individual effort, dives over, gets the score, and that's why we are at halftime with a 1-point game.
No trickeration there. Give
no
it to him.
trickeration. You're absolutely
Let him go.
correct.
So here's what's on the line, John. The winner of our game, Menasha and Luxemburg-Casco, will take on the winner of Baraboo and Rice Lake. That game, 8-0 at half in favor of Rice Lake. All right, we've got to take another timeout. When we come back, we'll look at the other scores in the playoffs with our area teams. That's next on Showdown. Menasha with a 1-point lead over Luxemburg-Casco on the far sideline. Hey, Menasha traveled really well. They brought their dance team, the cheerleaders, out here tonight, so They're trying to stay warm over there. It's great to see them here at a playoff game.
If I was the team captain, I'd say, okay, everybody gather around me. I need to talk strategy just to stay warm. The band's been cranking it up.
Luxemburg-Casco band has been playing all night, entertaining this crowd.
And I'm very impressed that you knew the song they were playing.
I don't know that that's true.
What was it from, did you say?
I thought it was maybe Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wow.
But they've been playing all night, and they're going to be here all night. So a lot of times the bands will leave at halftime.
Right.
These guys are committed for the whole game.
Very nice.
So we're seeing some replays here, but let's go live to this band.
Okay.
There they are.
Nice. Is that Pirates of the Caribbean?
I think this might be the school fight song.
Or that. I always get those two mixed up.
Do you?
Yeah.
What a great night. You got to love the high school spirit, the community out here, the fans.
No question.
Still on the stands here at Luxemburg-Casco High School.
Crowd.
We've got one more half of football, John.
We certainly do, and I'll tell you what, that first half was absolutely outstanding. You know, two teams that have had tremendous regular seasons, and you can see why. They both got individual superstar players, and this is fun, and it's going to be fun for another 24 minutes.
Okay, quick look at the scores from around the area. Big one in Division 1. Kimberly trailing to Appleton North by 4 at the break. They'll take on the winner of Franklin and Bayport. Franklin, the number 1 team in the state, leading that game. In Division 2, Pulaski having a tough time with Hartford at half, trailing by 14. In Division 3, you saw our scores here. The winner of this one taking on Rice Lake and Baraboo. In Division 4, it is Freedom taking on Wisconsin Dells, and it is Freedom with a touchdown lead just before the half. Also, in Division 4, Denmark trailing by a couple of touchdowns to Catholic Memorial, always tough team. Mm-hmm. And in Division 6, St. Mary's Springs trying to find their way back to Camp Randall for yet another time. They've got a 3-point lead over Kenosha St. Joe's. And a couple of scores in Division 7, where Coleman has a 14-0 lead over Hurley.
That one is now 20-0.
20-0. Coleman having a terrific season this year, trying to get to the state semifinals next week. Also in Division 7, Reedsville will be playing their game tomorrow against Blackhawk Warren. All right, we've got to take another timeout. When we come back, second half action in our game. It's a good one. Menasha, Luxemburg-Casco. Second half is next. Ted Stefaniak, John Mino with you. 1-point game. Menasha leading Luxemburg-Casco as we get set to start the third quarter. Don't forget to check out all the scores and highlights from around the area tonight on NBC 26 News at 10. Brandon Kennard,
an alumnus.
Familiar name, a familiar face in this area. We'll have all your scores and highlights tonight at 10.
Catholic Memorial now up 37-0. And again, I could see them playing in almost any division and contending.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Right. Denmark's got another half to try to whittle away.
They've had a great season. By the way, I was in Denmark today. They did a phenomenal presentation at the middle school for veterans.
Oh, very
really
nice.
Outstanding.
Very nice.
A little miscue.
So they'll start at the 25.
Jake Neal's diving on it right there. Smart play. How many times have we seen somebody try to pick something up like that, make something out of it, just turns into disaster?
Hey, Lamer's Bus Line needs you to bring our students to school this year. Earn high hourly wages and up to $1,800 in bonuses. Visit golamers.com/careers to apply today.
Well, Ted, I don't see either team make any real adjustments, do you? I mean, it's just a real tough, hard-fought first half. The Stars made their plays. I thought both defenses played exceptionally well, so I don't think anybody really has to make many changes.
All about execution.
Right.
We were talking about that in the first half.
Devontre Smith with the carry. Not a bad way to start that second half. The gain of about 4. Maybe 5. Maybe 6. In fact, let's give him 6 as that pile kept moving backwards.
So Mr. Smith had that big 57-yard touchdown run in the first half, but
look at that
for
pile
the most
just
part,
keep moving, Ted. Isn't that something?
Luxemburg-Casco's done a nice job.
Yeah, they have. They really have. The one big play, or the two big plays. Korth with a touchdown run, and then the big play on fourth down by Smith.
High snap, and Smith waits for his blocks. Has the first down, though.
Nice job on defense. Vandenbush, number 4, in on the stop that time. You know, he had that one big run, Ted, but I don't know why. That's a huge hole. Just a nice job that time by this Menasha offensive line that I don't think really gets enough credit. You know, for these guys carrying the football, the stats that they get, I don't think that offensive line gets nearly enough credit. But I didn't think he got into the type of groove in that first half that what we saw last week.
Right, and credit to Luxemburg on that.
Right, exactly. And Luxemburg having some sustained drives and keeping him off the field, or at least on the offensive side. Smith again hitting the backfield.
We'll lose a couple this time.
Yeah, nice job on the part of the defensive line for Luxemburg-Casco. That was number 72, Joe Shervenka, as we mentioned, right down there, submarining him, getting them down low. Then the linebacker coming there. Sam Peterson coming in to finish him off. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. And you know, with both teams running the ball and this clock not stopping an awful lot, each possession, field position, all those little things that, you know, coaches talk about, but a lot of times you don't pay a lot of attention to, those really become prominent in a game like this. Quarterback draw.
Himself. And a 4-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
And boy, that turned into a scrum, didn't it? Luxemburg-Casco, Ethan Ruth, 6'1", 240-pound sophomore. Number 65 in on the stop. Nice job there by number 68 as well, Lucas Cannon, 6'5", 250. So 3rd and 8 from the 41-yard line.
Spaeth brings the play in from the sidelines.
And, you know, when you have a couple of explosive players like Menasha has, that's not that long of a distance to not be able to run the football.
Alex Bradley is the receiver to the near sideline.
Korth, the only man in the backfield. Quarterback draw.
Takes it himself. He's going to be shy of the first down by about 3 yards.
Yeah, is this going to be one of those, what did you call it again? The run punt option, RPO.
RPO.
But with the punt emphasis. 4th and about 3. You know, he's so strong, Korth is. He really moves the pile. Well, nobody is deep for Luxemburg-Casco.
And this is not a punt
This is
formation.
not a punt formation at all. And he's got the big fullback in front of him.
Big plays sitting on their own 46-yard line.
It's Korth.
There's a flag on the play.
I think the fullback started too soon.
And now you might see the punt formation.
Yeah. You know what actually, Ted, you know what I thought happened? I thought they quick snapped it to the up back. And that he had the football and the quarterback wasn't moving, but that's not the case. So, yeah, some different personnel coming to the ball game now for Menasha. And Korth is deep. And Ruthio deep for Luxemburg-Casco.
Korth gets this one
End
away.
over end. Good bounce. Ruthio lets it go out of bounds.
Oh, good
nice punt. Great.
Right.
But boy, he's had a couple of dandies like that tonight.
We'll take a break. You're watching Showdown. So Luxemburg-Casco takes over after that terrific punt by A.J. Korth. Vandenbush goes back to work. Still on his feet. And across the 25-yard line.
You know,
just kept churning.
The last time that A.J. Korth had a really great punt, pinned him down to around the 5-yard line, Vandenbush made a play exactly like that to get them out of trouble, and he does again.
They have
him. 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3, finally bring him down. Tough running back.
Devontae Smith with the tackle. Those guys are doing everything tonight.
They certainly are.
Running back on running back.
You get delay if they don't hurry. Yeah, that wasn't pretty. Yep. Flag against Luxemburg-Casco.
Yeah, there were a lot of things.
There are a lot of moving parts, and none of them seem to be meshing.
Hard to say what it was.
Hard to say, but it was.
Once it got rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't good. So 1st and 15 now after the big play.
Trips to the right this time.
First time we've seen that.
I give to Vandenbush, and here comes the defense.
Woo. Did they swarm? Did they sniff that one in a hurry?
Well,
that was Devontae Smith that got in there hurry. And big number 56 who's made a bunch of plays, Evan Rubert for Menasha. In fact, he is the first one to make contact. So a loss on the play of 2, second and about 17.
Well, people make, with good reason, so much about Smith and his running, but outstanding defensive player, first teamer on the defensive side as well in the conference. And here they come again.
And Vandenbush taken down again quickly. Boy, this defense all of a sudden has come to life for Menasha.
Well, it's almost as if
Carson Quick.
6 guys.
Right.
Get on
Let's just say, get on him. Carson Quick came in that time, then left the ball game, made a really nice play.
So
now 3rd and about 16.
Yeah.
Boy, that penalty, that illegal procedure penalty really screwed up this drive, didn't it?
Trying to get out of the hole now. The pass is complete. Flag comes in. Might be a face mask here. Going to be close to a first down.
Right.
But I think the face mask is going to push him over.
That'd be the second. That'd be the second face mask of the ball game.
Personal foul, face mask. On the defense, 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
Logan Dell with the big grab.
Right. Nice pass, nice protection. Look at that protection. Really clean pocket. Crossing routes are so hard to defend. The call was pretty easy being up there. No question about that.
Good ball, too.
Ty Carlson, outstanding ball. Great pocket. Really stood strong. Really confident throw. That was one of their most impressive plays of the ball game. That wasn't a touchdown. So it brings it past midfield to the 49.
That was a 3rd and 16. What a huge play for the Spartans. Vandenbush goes back to work. 5 yards.
Tough 5 yards. Again, hit after a gain of about 1.5 yards. Another flag on the play. Right on the 45. Right here on the near side, Ted. I have no idea what it is.
Let's go against Menasha.
Another face mask. Wow.
Some big penalties.
Huge penalties.
So up to the 40 now of Menasha.
Let's take another look at it right here. Oh, yeah. Grabbing it right there.
Yeah.
Just a 5.
Not a lot there.
Yeah.
But enough.
So bring up 2nd and short from the 40. So 2 big penalties against Menasha this drive. And Luxemburg-Casco has to be thinking about getting into field goal range, if nothing else. I mean, their kicker has a tremendous leg.
Trying to get everything sorted out here once again. Not sure what the hold is.
Not sure what it is either. Checking the clock, maybe? So, okay, there we go. So 2nd and 1.
Tight formation this time.
Toss Vandenbush.
Motion. It's Vandenbush. First down. Still on his feet. Inside the 30. Close to the,
25. Real close to it. We haven't seen that toss sweep too much tonight. Down to about the 26. Boy, when he gets that head of steam going, would you see Teddy? What?
He looks like he's been working hard today.
Oh, yeah. He's a little winded. No question about it. Very seldom taken down with that first tackle or first contact.
Another tight formation here. To the right side this time.
Handoff around the end.
And that's Ruthio.
Ruthio takes it down to the 16-yard line.
I think that's another first.
And another first down. So Luxemburg-Casco really controlling things here in this third quarter. And Vandenbush limps off the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was shaken up 2 plays ago, or we saw him kind of...
Right, that's when you noticed it at first, right. Yep.
Or maybe, I just need a play
Give me
to catch my breath.
Give me a breather, coach. Come on, man. Just one play.
Keep an eye on Max Ronsman. He's split way to the far side. Schley on the near side. They
Nice
give
hold.
to Dorner, and Dorner, another nice gain.
Ryland Day, 6'3", 200-pound sophomore, number 62, did a nice job leading the way on that play. A gain of about 7. Bring up 2nd and 3. Ball on the 9-yard line. What a drive.
Inside the Gallagher's Pizza red zone. 3rd and 3. And enough for the, well.
It was actually 2nd.
Or, excuse me,
Right.
2nd and 3.
Again, that math teacher at Round Lake. Oh, she's not watching. Yeah. Bring up 3rd and 1. So they are within field goal range, obviously.
Let's get to the third down first.
Okay. May I anticipate?
No. Enjoy the journey, my friend. 3rd and 1. Vandenbush slipped as he grabbed it, and that was just enough. Oh, but you know what?
I don't know. Bo Carlson, number 8, came up quickly, and I think it's 4th down. It is.
Now you may.
Okay.
Now you may.
What
guess.
What I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
My interrupting brother was I wonder if the kicker would rather be more in the middle of the field than on the right hash mark if they, in fact, they were going to go for a field goal.
It's 4th down.
Which they are not going to do, so forget it.
4th and 1.
Throw that one out the window.
I'll look to the sideline. Change up the play. Vandenbush in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. 1 to the right. The snap. Dupree. Off the shoulder pad. Incomplete, and Menasha holds. Turnover on downs. We'll take a break. You're watching Showdown. 2:18 remaining here in the third quarter. Menasha holds, turns over. Luxemburg-Casco turnover on downs. And Menasha goes back to work on the ground here.
Well, Luxemburg-Casco had to be designing that play all week. They had to be saying, if we're in this situation, this is an ideal play for us. Fake it up the middle and then throw over to that left side. And again, sometimes it's not all X's and O's. It's all just the pure physical execution. And that just didn't seem to have. I mean, there were 3 white jerseys over there, so they really did not surprise anyone with that play.
I think even if Dorner makes that catch,
he was chuffed. He didn't have a chance.
He's not getting the first down,
no.
most likely.
So what a big stand by the Blue Jays defense.
So a 1-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 9. And Smith taken down, so that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Isaac Vandenbush playing both ways, coming up, maybe taking a little frustration on that play, coming up from the secondary, making the stop. Gain a couple, about 3rd and 7 right now. Coming up quickly that time, just shutting it down. Got his helmet over onto the right side, which took away the chance for the cutback.
Take a lot of time here.
This is usually where Korth tries to do something himself. The quarterback draws, things like that.
We'll see if you're right on this 3rd and 7. Under a minute to play in the third. And it is 4th and 4th down coming up.
Holy cow, did that Luxemburg-Casco defense all of a sudden come to life. Wow. That might be the first 3 and out of the game for Menasha. Well, this third quarter flew by, didn't it?
Oh, it sure is. I don't know if they can let this run all the way down here.
Well, wind isn't a factor at all tonight, so really, it's not like you'd get an advantage or disadvantage. Wow, nice punt. He's got a leg, doesn't he?
This one,
look at this.
Take a big bounce.
Oh,
and
my
go out
goodness.
of bounds. So with 4 seconds left, 2 seconds left, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. So 1 second remaining here in the third.
Another incredible punt by Korth. Incredible.
He's a first-teamer. All conference for punting as well as quarterback.
They're not things of beauty with the high, spiral. They're line drives. But does he get some... Uh-oh.
And Depre
with a nice job that time.
End the third quarter. So we'll step away. Fourth quarter action comes up after this timeout. You are watching Showdown. It's a 1-point game, 14-13. Menasha leads Luxemburg-Casco. Hey, by the way, our down and distance tonight is brought to you by Gandrud Chevrolet. Our no hassle, no haggle philosophy means that you get one low price always. Experience the difference at Gandrud Chevrolet. So we begin the fourth quarter with Luxemburg-Casco.
Vandenbush.
First down, and Vandenbush has some room on the sideline. To the 40, pushed out near the 35-yard line. What a big play for the Spartans.
Huge play. What a couple of big plays he's made on this drive when they were pinned deep. He, of course, made the big play. Now he seems shaken up, and he's bent over and is coming out of the ball game. He seemed a little banged up earlier, Ted, that we both mentioned. You noticed it first, and they are really gathered around him right now.
And they'll check on him.
Yeah, he came down hard, it seemed like, in that hard ground tonight with the cold temperatures.
Well, if he can get back out on the field, he'll be out there.
Yeah, he got slammed down pretty good there and right on that knee. So
huge play into Menasha territory.
He's on the ground right now getting checked out.
Depre in the air, and that is picked off.
Big interception by Spaeth. Seth Spaeth.
Timeout on the field. We'll be back after this. Well, after a big play by Luxemburg-Casco, the turnover gives the ball back to Menasha. They lead by 1. We're just 15 seconds into this fourth quarter.
Wow. What a ball game this is. What a big turnover and nice play by Spaeth. Big run. Starting it off by the big quarterback, A.J. Korth.
Remember, Korth was dinged up a little bit earlier in this game.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. There's serious hitting taking place. Every tackle, somebody gets driven into the ground. It might just be a cramp with the way they're looking at it for Isaac Vandenbush, where they had him stretch out. But, you say just a cramp, which is great because there's no long-term effects. But if you've ever had a cramp during a ball game, it's debilitating. It really and truly is.
He is up walking around now, so
2nd and 1.
Just a matter of time before he's back in the game. Korth again has the first down, and he is off to the races. Ronsman trying to track him down and catches him by the shoestrings.
What a nice recovery by Ronsman. Once Korth got into high gear, I thought it was lights out. I haven't seen him caught behind like that before. Big tackle by Ronsman. Let's see what happened. Ronsman making that stop. But I thought it was 6 on the board.
And into the Gallagher's Pizza red zone. Korth goes. And Menasha looking to extend their lead here with the ball sitting on the 10-yard line.
So how big might that interception turn out to be?
So Gallagher's Pizza is tonight's red zone sponsor, Gallagher's Pizza. Italian food, Irish spirit, now with locations in Swamico and De Pere, as well as 2 locations in Green Bay on West Mason Street and Webster Avenue.
You have to think Smith. It is. Stacked up, though. This defensive line, once again, doing a nice job for Luxemburg-Casco. Getting up from the bottom of the pile is Evan Dorner. Coming up from the defensive back position. Gain of about 1. Well, how big of a stand does Luxemburg-Casco need to make now, Teddy?
Got to get a stop. Smith stays in the game. Looks like he was going to come out for a second. They keep him in the game. Smith will line up, looks like in the slot on the left side.
Something we don't see very often.
Korth hit once, twice, gets by the second defender and kept moving.
Wow, he was face to face with Sam Peterson, number 50, 6 foot, 195-pound linebacker. And he shrugged him off because that could have been no gain. He gained a couple, so 3rd and 6. 3rd and goal from the 6. Or there is tension in the air throughout these stands, isn't there? You could just see it on everybody's faces.
Smith in the backfield once again with Korth. Big hole on that left side. They look right. Now they roll to the left. And is it caught? Touchdown! Blue Jays.
Nice patience on the part of Menasha quarterback. Look for Mason Tanner, number 88. And they had to wait to get the sign from the official. Big play, A.J. Korth to big tight end, number 88, Mason Tanner. Nice play, nice pass as Menasha takes advantage of the turnover. This is a big extra point as well.
Sam
trying to make an 8-point margin.
He's the kicker. That is up.
Flag.
Oh.
Illegal procedure, I believe. No, wait a minute. Yes.
Before the snap, full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
Well, he kicks it about 48 yards at every extra point.
He does.
So I'm not sure that 5 is going to make a huge difference distance-wise.
They'll try it again. Trying to get it back to an 8-point lead, and that one is no good.
Wow.
It's a 7-point game, 8:43 to go. We'll step away. You're watching Showdown. $8:43 to go in a 7-point game, and the winner of this one moves on to the state semifinal game next week.
What a ball game. 8:43 to go in regulation, and I'm going to say regulation. I'm not going to say another word about the kickers because some people feel I may have jinxed them in some ways.
Just twice tonight.
Only twice, but fairly, one on each side. We had that caveat.
You are nothing, if nothing else, you are fair.
I may be wrong, but I'm fair. Thank you, Teddy. I appreciate that.
If nothing else.
That might be the nicest compliment you've ever paid to me in about 22 years.
There you go. Is that what we've been working 22 years?
You may be wrong much of the time, but at least you're fair. Thank you, Teddy. Has it been that long? Seems a lot longer some nights.
It's similar to you look so much better in person.
You don't look like what you sound like. I thought you'd be different. You ever have one of those?
Yeah.
All the time.
So
there's the pooch. And it might work.
Live ball, and Menasha might have it. And, well, no signal yet.
The entire Menasha team thinks they do because they're all running off the ball. And so does number 7.
And so does the official.
Big play by Menasha. Evan Vandenhoven with the recovery.
Another look at it, John.
Boy, they got on that right away. Big play. You know, last week I was giving them some guff about those pooch kicks. That one worked to perfection. They've been kicking it deep all ball game. There was no reason to think all of a sudden they would do a pooch. But did that work to perfection?
So the turnover gives the ball right back to Menasha. Korth. Little RPO there.
Yep. A nice gain of about 7. on first down. And Luxemburg-Casco absolutely cannot afford points on this drive. Just can't. If they want to go to the semifinals, they must get a stop.
What a huge call over there, Jeremy Korth,
wow.
The Blue Jays.
Gutsy and successful. And again, I'll give my opinion now, good call.
On Monday morning. Here's Korth again. He's got some room. And another first down.
You know, again, not to be whatever, but this is the way they beat Notre Dame last week. Made some big plays like that, and then Korth took advantage, just kept the ball in his hands. Real safe plays. Kept taking it, breaking tackles. He's so strong.
And there is a timeout on the field. So we'll step away. You're watching Showdown, TV 32. 7-point lead for Menasha. They've got the ball. 7:56 to go. Hey, no matter who you are, part of you is an athlete. Whether you're a student, a professional, or a recreational athlete, the Bellin Health Titletown Sports Medicine and Orthopedics team provides elite care for everybody. Bellin Health, the official healthcare partner of Sports Showdown.
Some big football plays coming up here, Teddy. 7:56. Clock will be a factor once it gets inside about the 6-minute mark. Full set of downs.
Korth again into the pile.
I mean, just a steady diet. He gained almost 7. Why not? Why hand it off when you can just give it to the quarterback, use that offensive line to your advantage, move the pile, push it down.
Yep.
Now they'll start using some clock.
Trying to get into that Gallagher's Pizza red zone. Of course, they are our red zone sponsor, Gallagher's Pizza, Italian food, Irish spirit, now with locations in Swamico and De Pere, as well as 2 locations in Green Bay on West Mason Street and Webster Avenue.
Freedom just scored. They now lead 21-0 in their ball game, late third quarter. So Freedom possibly punching their ticket to the state semifinals. They've had a great season, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Clint Krewald back at the helm.
Seen a lot of local teams have big seasons this year. Korth passes and it's dropped by Smith.
Boy, did they set that up nicely though, Ted. 3 plays in a row. Korth carries the football straight up the middle with that little bit of a quarterback draw, just sort of a hesitation draw, not a full quarterback draw. So they do that and they try to slip the tight end down the middle.
Seeing all those great replays tonight on TV 32, brought to you by Simon's Cheese, our instant replay sponsor. Experience the best of Wisconsin at Simon's Cheese Little Chute. 3rd and 5 coming up. And a
timeout by Menasha. Score here, Teddy. Appleton North leading Kimberly 21-10. 1 minute left to go in the ball game.
That Appleton North team has played some really tough games this year.
They really have.
Really tough losses. And from the beginning, from the very first game, when they lost to Franklin at the last quarter, there might be a rematch coming up
that we might be at. We just might.
We might.
We might.
Hey, our Down and Distance is brought to you by Gandrud Chevrolet. You know, they're Wisconsin's #1 Chevrolet selling dealership. Thank you to Gandrud and all of our sponsors. See the fans here at Luxemburg-Casco trying to get the Spartans into the semifinal round, but they need a stop here on a 3rd and 5. Smith, he's lined up in that left slot again.
Korth again.
Korth
breaks tackle and will be really close to a first down. Short. He'll bring up 4th and 1. Well, this is the play of the season coming up for Luxemburg-Casco. On the 16-yard line. If Menasha gets this first down, and they're not going for the field goal, If they get this first down, things will be very difficult for Luxemburg-Casco. Smith comes into the ball game for the Blue Jays. Here we go, Teddy, 4th and 1.
Clock starts back up, 6:15 and running. Smith goes in motion.
And I think there's movement.
Are they drawn? Nope.
Wow, big penalty.
And a first down.
Boy, are they going to look back at this ball game in a couple of big plays when they had the 4th and 1 down at this end of the field. And they tried that pass play that didn't have a chance. Then the interception down at this end. And now this penalty right there. Those 3 huge plays.
So a 1st and 10. Korth might not give it up.
He's
bounces
not going
off
to.
the pile looking for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Blue Jays.
Wow. Big drive off the turnover. They took advantage of it. That's what good football teams do. Absolutely take advantage of the other team's miscues, make them pay, and that's what they did. Impressive drive. This is where Menasha started just sort of putting their will against the Luxemburg-Casco's defense. Big play by the Blue Jays. Boy, give them all the credit in the world the way they played this 4th quarter. 3rd quarter belonged to Luxemburg-Casco. 4th quarter belonged to Menasha.
Still 5:39 remaining as Blancett gets ready to kick the extra point. And it's good. So 27-13.
Another look. Korth right there. Could have been blown up. Nope. Bounces out. Takes it on the right side. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's tremendous. He is absolutely tremendous. Franklin leading Bayport 35-7. So the matchup, I would say, is etched in stone, Teddy, wouldn't you say, for next week?
Just about.
Just about.
Just about.
You bet. 5:39 left to play in this one, but Luxemburg-Casco really needs a miracle now. 2 quick scores. What are the scores we got there?
Yeah. Appleton North.
Oh, that's
That's now a final.
Yep.
21-10.
Coleman was the winner tonight, 36-6. Franklin 35-7 over Bayport. Fondy Springs 29-6.
And Franklin is a final now.
Right.
So Appleton North
and Franklin in a rematch from week number 1.
Yep.
A game which Appleton North led for much of that game.
Franklin, the number 1 ranked team in Division 1. Appleton North started the playoffs as a number 7 ranked team.
Imagine Coach Paul Engen, who's, I don't know if you'd call him a ceremonial coach now, but I know he's seen a lot of football in his days, but you tell me he doesn't savor that win as much as just about any of them?
Sure does. This one fielded at the 30 by Vander Weilen.
You know, just to go back to Ted, the thing that set up that touchdown was that pooch kick. So you have to give Menasha a lot of credit for pulling out, they've got a really tough running back and a really tough quarterback and all those sorts of things. But what a savvy, courageous move to try a pooch kick after scoring like that, where you could have given Luxemburg-Casco tremendous field position and a short field to come right back and march down, and they didn't. That was a lot of courage on the part of the Menasha coaching staff.
Gusto.
Yeah, it certainly was. Vandenbush needs to break one.
Luxemburg-Casco not done just yet. Big hit on the sideline. Smith.
By Smith.
A flag on the play here.
Holding. And it's coming back, holding against Luxemburg-Casco.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the fall. First down.
Well, we talked about the explosiveness of Smith when he carries the football and he hits somebody. There was explosiveness we saw on defense when he hit somebody. Take another look at this one. I mean, he just loads it all up. He puts the black powder in the cartridge right here. Watch this.
But you can see Smith.
Coach, look out. Look out. Yeah.
Another Bell and Health spot.
Yes, that's what that was. Exactly. But it was. He just unloaded. It's like a shotgun shell coming out of the barrel.
So the penalty backs him up. So he 1st and 16 back to
big hole. Look at this.
Vanderbush across the 50, 45, and taken down.
Mask.
Might be another face mask.
Yeah.
It is.
It's the 3rd one. Well, Luxemburg-Casco staying alive here.
Hey, at the end of that play, and we're going to get the penalty here. At the end of that play, Smith was part of that tackle against Smith, doing a great job helping Vandenbush up. Two just kind of slapped each other on the helmet. Great sportsmanship there.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
So up to the 25-yard line. So actually there's still plenty of time left if they could get a score early on. What a big hole. Nice job. And then Vandenbush does the rest. Yep. Wow, that's blatant right there.
But watch at the end there.
Oh, that's cool.
Smith. Yeah.
You know what? If I could go back in time to when I was 17, that was me.
Do we have film on that?
We didn't even have film.
No. Here's Vandenbush.
Vandenbush again. Another nice run. Gain of about 8.
Hey, there's over 5 minutes left in this one. If they
Who's writing it off?
I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Just in case. If there was any doubt in your mind.
There wasn't. There was a very accusatory tone.
Don't be packing up your bag just yet.
I'm not. I see you still have your blanket wrapped around you.
Just trying to stay warm.
All right.
And don't be leaving the press box. I know you just heard that announcement.
You heard about the hamburgers half price, didn't you? I know.
Hot dogs and hamburgers half price now. And Vandenbush
again. Look at this. Another first down.
Inside the 10.
Down to about the 6-yard line. Where are these holes opening up from all of a sudden in the Menasha defense?
They're getting after it. A 1st and goal now coming up.
Whoa!
Ronsman goes in motion. Dupree gets a fortunate bounce. Now throws it into the end zone. That was dangerous.
Oh, boy. We've seen a little bit of everything here tonight. I don't believe it'd be great. I think another cramp right there at number 4, Vandenbush. You see him standing there. I think he's starting to cramp up again.
Oh,
so
look at this fortunate bounce.
Wow. He really kind of took his time. He didn't panic. That was a nice job on the part of Dupree. Okay.
So a second and goal from the 8. And now Menasha will take a timeout.
Okay.
Good timeout here. Make sure you get everything set. You're trying to get a stop here or slow him down a little bit.
Right. I agree.
You get a score here.
Things would be interesting.
See another onside kick?
You think so?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
No?
No.
Well,
I would say defense, we're going to kick this as far as we can, and we need you to stop them, which they have not done in the second half very often. But that's what they need to do.
Yeah. So again, some local scores to pass along as Appleton North has defeated Kimberly tonight. So Appleton North moves into level 4, the state semifinals next week, where they will take on Franklin, the number 1 ranked team in Division 1. Certainly a possibility for Showdown next week. We're not sure where we're going to be.
No, we're not. We have some ideas, but a lot depends on where some of those games will be played. Because in some situations, those aren't solidified yet.
That's right. This has been a great one tonight. 4:44 remaining. Second and goal from the 8. Loose ball and still loose. And it looks like Menasha has it, and they do.
Wow, what a couple of critical turnovers and miscues. And, of course, number 22, the man there to fall on it. Wow.
As good as he has been on offense.
Yeah, just as good on defense.
Oh, my goodness.
I see him as a college defensive back. I really do, a big-time college defensive back. You know, they just collided a little bit, the quarterback and the running back. Quarterback kind of bounced it off his hip. That's a killer. Big turnover for Kimberly. Boy, the miscues over the last half of this ball game for them, huh, Teddy? Not recovering the pooch kick, the interception, the chance they had on fourth down when they threw that pass that really didn't have a chance.
And they've had some big opportunities.
They've had some big opportunities, and they just couldn't finish. No question about it. Yeah, feeling Korth will carry it himself, and he does. And why not? And then he'll pick up a first down and still rumbling all the way out to the 37-yard line.
Now, if you're Korth or Smith or whoever has the ball, instead of going for those extra yards and
just
fighting,
protect the football and go down. That's right. That's completely right.
So if you're Menasha, the last thing you want to do is give Luxemburg-Casco another opportunity here.
Right. You know, Ted, I don't know anything about the other teams in Division III, but I don't think any of them are going to watch tape of Menasha and say, hey, I like this matchup. This is a tremendous Division III football team.
Well, waiting word on the Baraboo-Rice Lake game. The winner of this game will play the winner of that game next week in the semifinals.
Yeah, I don't think Korth is going to hand it out for the rest of the game. And again, why would he? Look at another 9 to 10 yards.
Well, again,
and actually another first down, 11 yards.
I think we thought coming into this one, as great as Smith was on offense last week,
right.
This week there might be a little bit of a change towards going back to Korth and let him do what he does.
Again, we saw that in that second half of the game last week. It almost seemed to formulate right there in the second half of that ball game against Notre Dame.
Just a two-headed monster.
Incredible. I mean, two of the best football players we've seen on one team in a lot of years, and that's no lie. Now, I can argue that point with anybody that'd like to, because when you've got Korth that has rushed for almost 1,200 yards, has passed for 1,400 yards, and of course you've got Smith, who's had over 1,700 yards rushing this season. That's pretty tough to stop. So every play, it will be Korth. And there you go, another good gain. The only thing you worry about, and I hate to say it, in the late stages of a game like this, you don't want somebody to get up slow with a, turned ankle or anything like that.
Yeah, but I don't think you can take anybody out at this point. Can you?
I'm not saying take them out. All I'm saying is you hold your breath until everybody walks off the field healthy.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Under 3 minutes to go.
Well, Luxemburg-Casco's greatest season in football history comes to an end. But I'll tell you what, they have absolutely, this is Smith, nothing in the world to hang their heads over. They just lost to a team that I think is going to win the state championship. And they played everybody else tremendous. Great football team. They just had about 3 plays tonight that really went the wrong way.
Well, Neil Searing in his second season with Luxemburg-Casco will drop to 18-2 in his first 2 seasons. And just a tremendous season again for the Spartan team.
Has some good players coming back, no question about that.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, this Menasha team, I think they can hang with anybody left. Anybody left on the roster or on the docket between here and Camp Randall.
Yeah, Luxemburg-Casco was trying to get past the level 3 round of the playoffs for the first time. Now Menasha.
Well, they won it in what year? 2014?
2014, they were the D2 champs.
Right.
State runners-up in Division 3 back in 2019.
Right. They almost, I'll be honest with you, they remind me more of a Division 2 team with their speed and their size. They really and truly do. They remind me more of what you would normally see in Division 2 than Division 3. And I'm not trying to put down Division 3 teams. I'm just saying the talent level that this Menasha team has with this kind of speed and power.
And victory formation now for the Blue Jays, who are punching their ticket to level 4 in the state semifinals next week.
Incredible achievement, really and truly, and they've earned it. They deserve it. Not a fluke, any way, shape, or form. But again, I tip my hats to this Luxemburg-Casco team that has had an absolutely phenomenal season. Just tremendous. Make it into the third round of the playoffs. That's something to be proud of. So the last 30 seconds of the career for some of these great football players.
And so Menasha moves on to level 4 where they will face Rice Lake. That game just went final.
Yep.
Rice Lake knocking off Baraboo. So Rice Lake, Menasha next week in a location to be determined.
Right.
And who knows, maybe we'll have that game.
You never know.
Next Friday.
You never know. If it's around here, we could.
So 27-13 our final. Congratulations to Menasha and Luxemburg-Casco. Terrific ball game. We'll be back to wrap things up and also look ahead to next week and get you some scores from around the area. That's next on Showdown. Ted Stefaniak, John Mino with you to wrap this one up. John, I think it was a game that we were expecting. This was a back-and-forth game right down to the wire.
Well, it was also one of those games where the team that made the most mistakes was probably going to lose. At this level, that's what happened. You have really good teams. They'll take advantage of that, and that's what happened with Luxemburg-Casco. You know, they had some miscues. You can go back in that second half where they had the fourth down there, and they had a chance to kick a field goal, to possibly kick a field goal and take the lead. They passed that up for that play over the side, that pass that really did not have a chance. That was huge. Then when Menasha recovered a fumble, they scored, and then did the pooch kick, took that down and scored. For all intents and purposes, that was the ball game. Those big plays and the interception we had here in the second half, those kind of turnovers are deadly this time of year against a good football team. And give Menasha credit. What do good teams do? They absolutely make teams pay for their mistakes, and that's what they did.
And you see Coach Jeremy Korth. Congratulations to him and the Menasha Blue Jays. Coach, with some, it's all business right now.
Oh, yeah.
You just had a huge win in the quarterfinals. You're heading to the semifinals next week.
Right.
Coach is making sure everyone is on the same page.
You bet.
We've got work to do.
We've got work to do. You go
ready.
home. We get back. You get off the bus. You go home. We'll see you in the morning. Yep, exactly.
So congratulations to them and, of course, Coach Searing and the Luxemburg-Casco Spartans. All right, let's take a look at the scores from around the area. Teams still competing in this level 3 round tonight. And the big game in Division 1, Appleton North knocks off Kimberly in the rematch this year.
You called that one.
Appleton North 21-10, so they will take on Franklin, the number 1 ranked team in the state. They knock off Bayport tonight 35-7. So we don't know where Franklin, Appleton North will be next week, but that's a possibility. We might have that game for you as well. In Division 2, Pulaski trying to hang on, trying to come back against Hartford, but they trail by a couple of touchdowns. In Division 3, the game you just saw, of course, Menasha moving on to take on Rice Lake next week. Again, the location of that game, these will be at neutral sites. The WIA will have those out later tonight or tomorrow in most cases. In Division 4, Freedom up by 21 in the fourth quarter, trying to advance to the state semifinals. Also in Division 4, Denmark had a tough matchup against Catholic Memorial, and Catholic Memorial up big, 44-0 in the second half. In Division 6, St. Mary's Springs is moving on. They're back in the state semifinals with a big win over Kenosha St. Joe's. They'll take on the winner of Darlington Cuba City. And in Division 7, Coleman. How about this Coleman team? We've been hearing about them all season long.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Coleman.
Nobody's
sleeping on Coleman. I think they're undefeated this season.
Cougars, aren't they? Coleman Cougars?
Yeah.
You
So
bet.
they are on to the state semifinals in level 4 next week. And also in Division 7, Reedsville will get an opportunity tomorrow. That's when they'll play their level 3 game against Black Hawk Warren. So congratulations to all of our local teams, and several of them moving on to next Friday. John, I'm not sure where we're going to be.
But we'll be somewhere.
We'll be somewhere.
And I have a feeling it'll be a pretty good matchup.
Absolutely. So keep an eye on Twitter and Facebook on Showdown, and we'll let you know when we get that matchup and location locked up. All right, don't forget to stick around. My News at 9 coming up after our broadcast in just a couple of moments. And again, John and I will be somewhere with you next Friday at 7 o'clock for Level 4 of the WIAA State football playoffs.
Great work with you, Teddy. Great job with the crew once again tonight.
Absolutely. Our crew has been outstanding all season long.
You know
And
what?
once
They were
again-
so good that I think you and I, right now, what we should do is go down and help them, roll up the cables and break stuff down and load it all up for the next couple of hours. What do you think?
I think that would be the first time where you would see you.
Oh, wow. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. I got to go, Ted. I got to go.
But that's a great idea.
All right.
All right, Johnny.
Teddy, we'll see you next Friday night.
Sounds good.
Can't wait.
John Mino, I'm Ted Stefaniak. So long, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for Level 4 of the football playoffs.
Tonight's Showdown Game of the Week on TV 32 was brought to you by Bellin Health. Welcome to your healthiest life. Gallagher's Pizza, Italian food, Irish spirit. Lamers, the passenger professionals. Simon's Specialty Cheese. Experience the best of Wisconsin at Simon's Cheese, Little Chute. McMahon's of Luxembourg. Cobus Buses, family pride in every ride. And Gandrud Chevrolet, Wisconsin's #1 selling Chevrolet dealership.